Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Finding Joy in Your Vestibular Migraine Journey. Thanks for tuning in today. I'm Marissa.
And I'm Joy, and we hope you find joy and hope in your journey watching this series. So thanks for watching.
Thank you.
Hi, Marissa.
Hi, Joy. How are you doing today? It's good to see
I,
you.
I am good. Thank you. Yes, I'm so excited for us to do this episode because it's something that we talk about quite often. And that's the subject of having to cancel plans with your family, your friends, coworkers. And it happens so often. Sometimes I don't know what to say to people. I don't know how to explain this to them. A lot of times, we both have vestibular migraines. Sometimes I will just tell people, it's kind of like Meniere's because I feel like people have heard of Meniere's before. So
hmm
that's something, to explain it. And you and I, and we talk about this, the anxiety when a family member calls a friend, hey, we're having a dinner party this weekend. You don't know how you're going to be feeling, and so there's anxiety that goes with that. Well, maybe I can attend, maybe I can't attend. um just the anxiety. And I know it goes from
Yes.
anxiety to guilt. Is that what you go through too?
Yeah. I definitely the anxiety part because you get so nervous when you make plans with someone because you feel like, okay, what if I have to cancel again at the last minute? So you get more anxiety and then that makes the symptoms worse. Um, and I told you I ended up in the end just kind of pulling away from my friends. And that was me because I couldn't, I always had to cancel. And I'm still dealing with the same symptoms, and that was so hard. But yeah, that was what I had to do. And then when you talk about the guilt, yeah, like you feel the guilt, just, as being a mom and,
Mhm.
you want to be able to go to all your child's events and, help out at their school or whatever you want to do, to be that active parent. I've told you before, I felt like a failure so many times, with this, like failing as a mom, a wife, a mother, just it was so hard. I felt like I was letting everyone down all the time. There was just such a struggle with it. And just, it's hard.
It's hard. I
Because there's
agree.
just so much, you feel like you're just trying to get through the day and then to think about what you have to do for your family or it's just there's so much of that guilt there, like we were just talking about before the show
Yeah.
how we both had our groceries delivered and then you and I both put away all the things that weren't refrigerated and our husbands helped put away the refrigerated items. um so it's just, little things like that because we want to maintain our role as mom and wife. And, when we have those moments where we can't for a second, it's hard. And,
It's hard.
oftentimes it's a long time. For me, it was, my husband was helping constantly, 3 years, I don't know, on
Um,
and off, maybe more, maybe years too, I'm sure.
yeah, the same thing,
So yeah, that was
trying to, and always having to, sometimes you have to ask for help and you have guilt with.
yes. And yeah, were you someone that had trouble asking for help always? Like, are you someone that didn't like to ask others for help? Yeah, because I know I was like, didn't want to ever ask anyone for help. I can do it on my own, it's fine. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's like we have to learn to ask for help and all that. It's so much. I know you were talking about before, what kind of helped your family and friends like understand your condition? Was there anything that kind of helped? Any resources?
Yeah, in the beginning, like I said earlier, I didn't really know how to explain this. One thing I did find helpful, some of my close friends, I have shared some of the Vita Rebalance series, and they have some episodes on there
Yeah,
about relationships and kind of canceling plans. That's been helpful. Even letting
so
some of
good.
my friends and family who have seen our series, they told me that's what you go through. I didn't know that. Just explaining. And I know I've told you, my sister-in-law moved out of state a few years ago, and I really, really want to go see her. And I feel so
Yes.
guilty every time. I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready to travel yet.
Yeah.
Hopefully someday. I know we want to see each other in person too.
I
So,
know. I know.
that's on our bucket list. We're just not there yet. So
Mhm.
explaining to people, sharing maybe articles with them, um, you know,
Yeah.
sharing how we
Beautiful.
feel is one way I've, helped my friends and family to understand this. And I feel like your close friends and family, they're going to understand and they'll support you. Um,
Yes.
and like you
Well,
said about the guilt, it always creeps in. Even now, I feel guilty sometimes having to
mhm.
cancel or maybe not being there for, the school activities like we used to be. You can't always be
Right.
super mom. You know,
I know. Yeah, we want it to be. We want it to be those super active moms. And
yeah. What are
yeah.
some of the solutions that you found? I know some of the solutions I have found is just, again, being open and honest, communicating. Um, I am trying to journal a little more because, you've kind of
Oh,
shared your
good.
journaling with me, which I appreciate.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. I know. I love the journaling. I still always talk about that. That's such a good way to just get your feelings out, when there's not someone that right there that you can talk to, or maybe you feel that, you've told your family so many times they don't want to hear about it anymore. It's a good place to just write down your feelings. And I always talk about the three gratitude things daily.
Yeah.
Think of three things, no matter how your day was, that you are happy for or grateful for, to just set your mind the right way. So, that kind of thing. And when we were talking about, if we do plan to go out somewhere, kind of our strategies, I know you kind of had some things like with planning and things. What are those things that you kind of am thinking about for the future?
Yeah. So when I plan, a trip or when I get to that point where I'm ready to, go to a friend's house that might be a little further away, again, as we talked about in our last video, having that rescue bag with you, giving yourself time. Another thing I thought about is if you're going to do something, rest the day before so that you have a little more energy that day of the event. Because events take a lot of energy for us. So those are some of mine. I know you have some that you used as well.
Yes, I always have my exit strategy ready to go. And that's usually, if I'm starting to feel symptomatic in the environment I'm in, whether it's really crowded or there's a lot of noise and I'm just like, it's not feeling right. I'm going to remove myself from that setting. So that's usually for me to go to the car and just kind of, or step outside, get some fresh air, just kind of away from things to kind of just give your brain a little rest and, take in some fresh air and yeah, just get refreshed because sometimes it's too much for our brains. They can't handle all that. So that's kind of, I always, yes, have that ready. Um, and I think my family has definitely gotten used to that. You know, they know when I ask, I say, I need the keys. I'm going to go to the car for a few minutes. You know, they're okay with it. You know, they understand. And that's just, you know, that helps to get out of that situation that is making you symptomatic at the moment.
Yeah, and I feel that's a good strategy too, and that way you're not so afraid to try something because,
Mhm.
"Hey, let me
Yes.
try it, and, if I feel symptoms, well, I can leave. I don't have to be stuck there." Make sure that you have that exit strategy and, just be
Yes.
open and honest with the people around you that this may happen. This is part of my new normal. Um,
Yeah.
I feel the exit strategy is so important to have. And also there's so many ways nowadays that we can still keep in touch with friends and family. Um,
Yes.
how we started keeping in touch with each other when we first met, we did weekly
Uh-huh.
video calls. Um,
Yeah.
and it was great. It was great having that. It wasn't in person, but we still have that face-to-face interaction. Um,
Yes.
Finding support groups. And there's also a lot of different groups online that offer not just support groups, there's bingo groups, there's card game groups, there's all different types of virtual events that you can go to. They even have 5K runs virtual now. I love it.
I was reading about that. Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
so many ways to connect. And that's what I want people to remember. If right now you're not able to leave your house a lot and you still want that interaction, find a good support group, find a good virtual group that you can still participate and make friends and talk with family. You know, I know every week when we talk, it puts a smile on my face. So
Me
I've been so
too. Me
happy
too.
about that. Yeah.
Me too. That's, I think that's helped both of us so much. And you know, there's times that we sometimes can't have our cameras on, and that's okay. You know, if you just have to listen, you know, like you and I have done just a phone call sometimes when we're trying to plan for, you know, something. And yeah,
Yeah.
it's like just skip the video call, and that's okay.
Yeah. A phone call works just as good. And a lot of my family is out of state. So I've been having to communicate with them this way for years. You can't just afford to hop on a plane every month and see your family. So, make the best out of what we have. And that has helped me. So I've been very happy. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry for my
Um,
dog barking.
oh, yes.
Yeah, my dog,
See?
she's barking. I'm saying
Oh,
hello.
you see, yeah,
Well, I think this was so good today, Joy.
yeah,
Yeah, what do you think is so important that everyone needs to remember and take away from this? I know you had
yeah.
something you said.
The most important thing I want to let people know is just don't give up and give yourself grace. That's what I find. And for you, what is your most important takeaway?
Yeah, you know, I think I want to tell everyone you are so much stronger than you think you are. There's so much weakness that comes with this illness, but I have found that it makes you so much stronger. So, you know, as you continue on your journey, I think you will really be surprised as to what you will be able to do and accomplish.
Agreed. I agree with that. And I really appreciate everybody tuning in. Thank you so much. And we
Yes,
really
thank you
hope
so
you
much.
find joy in your journey. Thank you.
Yep, journey on.
Bye.
Bye.